Episode 3912, Trim Your Thoughts, Not the Tree.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day and welcome to a brand new week. Can you believe it? We are just less than 2 weeks away from Christmas. How's your shopping going so far? Okay, don't get crazy in the mind. No, because we've got to trim your thoughts, not the tree. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already had the opportunity, you want to head on over to createyournow.com, where you can learn more and sign up for the K.I.S.S newsletter, the Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, this episode is brought to you by AIM, inspiring connection and community. So how was your weekend? Did you have a great time? Did you enjoy some football? Maybe you're like, no, my guys on the NFL, they're out of the playoffs. Yep, I know. I'm going to give you the scoop here. You know, it's going to be Mama Sports Center. That's all I got to say. That's going to be a fun project for 2026, but we'll leave that for another episode. But seriously, did you hear the Kansas City Chiefs? Well, Patrick Mahomes is out with a torn ACL. Don't know the scoop to it. That's just what I have read, and it's horrible. You know, sometimes we press ourselves so much to get to the end game of our goals, trying to have the Super Bowl of our life, right? For Patrick Mahomes, it's literally the Super Bowl for the NFL. But for you, it might look differently. I hope it does, you know, unless if you play in the NFL, obviously. But we look at the holidays, and when there's Christmas wrapped around it, following, you know, shortly after Thanksgiving, and there's all these expectations from how you present your home to your, you know, what you and how you decorate your table and the tree and the trimming of it, all of that. We forget that there's so much more to the reason of the season. And when you really start to think about the holidays, it's usually the thoughts that strangle the hope of the season. It's the thoughts. And at some point, you have to figure out how to cut through the noise, silence the chaos, and turn up the volume of, I can. That's what you need to be telling yourself, I can. But you know, that takes commitment. Trim your thoughts, not the tree. Because here's the thing, it's not the physical decorations, right? It's not having this beautiful landscape on your dining room table, so the trimmings look absolutely beautiful. It's not about the packed schedules weighing you down, saying that, oh, you have to do this and you've got to be here and you've got to be there. And oh my goodness, don't forget this either. It's the clutter in your mind, the relentless swirl of worries and doubts, that negative self-talk that steals your joy and energy. You want a good book to go read? Go look up Marianne Renner, Renner. It's called Self-Talk. It's a great book. Quick read for you, seriously. Or you can spend a lot of time on it. 10 things we tell ourselves. And during the holidays, we tell ourselves a lot, right? Your mind is your most powerful tool, but left unchecked, it becomes your biggest obstacle. Sometimes that's what we're doing. We're decorating the wrong stuff. We're decorating our minds with a negativity. We're saying, I'm not good enough, because we're believing things that have been told to us year after year after year. Whether it was in elementary school, college, your second big career move, maybe from a client, or maybe from someone just yesterday. Could even be your spouse, you know, the one that you're married to, the one you're sleeping with, all that jazz. Yeah, I know. We trim up the wrong stuff. And we make that look almost appealing. Why? Because we know it all too well, because we hang out there all too long. And we forget that, wait, we're not that. Trimming your thoughts means renewing your mind. And it's a radical choice to take control of your inner narrative, that story that you keep telling yourself. And you've got to shift the story you tell yourself, creating space for hope, clarity, and action. Right? You've got to trim your thoughts to renew your mind. That is your K.I.S.S to Keep It Simple strategy. Trim your thoughts. Stop decorating with the wrong stuff. Right? The tinsel should be something that sparkles and lets your eyes shine and your heart glisten. It shouldn't shut you down. You shouldn't be having a bag of coal every single time. But that's what we carry around in our mind, is this bag of coal. And the thing is, it gets heavier and heavier and heavier every single year. And it's not because it's getting darker sooner and we don't get enough light, and we're not outside, and we're low on our vitamin D. It's not any of that. It's because we're making the wrong choices. And we're hanging on to things for whatever reason. Could be lots of reasons. Sometimes we hang on to them because, well, it's normal for us. And in a weird sense, it feels like we are alive because that is what feels normal. Because when you make a change, it doesn't feel normal. Change is scary, even though change is a constant. We should all be used to change because change happens all the time. I mean, look outside your window, right? If you go run an errand, you're taking the kids to school, whatever it is, the weather changes all the time. I'm in the South right now, and we are below freezing. It's ridiculous. I am so cold. I've got like 3 coats on right now. Not really. I have heat in the house, but what I'm saying is it's cold outside and it's not supposed to be that way. But change is a constant. At some points, there's absolutely no wind. And other times, it's like blustering coldness, 25 to 30 mile per hour winds. Why? And so when everything else is changing around us, sometimes the stuff that isn't even good, we like to hold on to. Why? Because it makes us feel like we're in control. It gives us a sense of normalcy. Because you see, our mind likes to have habits. It's great when they're good habits, but it's absolutely devastating when it's bad. And it can tank you so fast, you don't even know it. And the holidays, it's heightened, right? Our awareness is heightened because we become a little bit more weepy. And not weepy as in we're always crying. I'm not saying that kind of weepy. Our heart softens. There's this nostalgia about, gosh, wouldn't it be nice to have a Hallmark life where there's always a happy ending? But sometimes there's seasons that there are not any happy endings. And maybe you're in that season now, maybe you're not. But I want to remind you right now, if you are whatever season you're in, know that God's got you. Know that I'm praying for you. There's been some hard days here for us as U.S. citizens. We've lost lives. And it breaks my heart, the Iowa Guardsmen, that their lives were taken, and the interpreter. The school shooting. The Australia incident. At some point, I think we began to think, gosh, when is there going to be peace? And I think we need to remember that the peace doesn't come from what's happening around us, but whose we are. And knowing that we have the control to change our inner narrative, what we tell ourselves. Trim your thoughts to renew your mind. So I really want you to focus on how you're decorating your mind. And if you think about it like a Christmas tree. If you don't decorate a Christmas tree, that's fine too. Whatever you do, decorate. But there's different layers. And at some point, we have to trim our thoughts and not have them all be, well, you know what, toxic. And that's number 1, identify and cut out toxic thought patterns. You can't prune what you don't see. You can't take out the bad if you don't see it. So start becoming this ruthless thought detective. Be this PI that says, you know what? I'm out to find what is killing me from the inside out. I want to know these thoughts of mine. What's holding me up? That's the greatest gift you can give yourself. So when negativity pops up, whether it's fear or you hear yourself saying, I'm not good enough, or you start comparing to like down the street or a best friend or whatever, maybe it's overwhelm, maybe it's anxiety that you're like, it just gets to you and you just kind of feel these butterflies in your stomach. You're like, I got this energy. Call it out. Call it out like it is. Bring that truth into the light. Philippians 4:8 tells us to focus on what is true, honorable, just, pure, lovely, commendable, and excellent. So ask yourself, does this thought align with that? If not, it's dead weight. It's coal in the bag. So toss it, get rid of it, replace it with truth. Because as you know, every lie you shrink from reveals the door you must boldly open. You've got to identify what's happening in your mind, and you have to kick the negative thoughts to the curb. Get the coal out of your life. It's not good for you. Trim your thoughts. Renew your mind. Number 2, reframe with renewed beliefs. Your mind is a garden. And if you water the weeds in the garden, what happens? They grow. But if you plant hope, it flourishes. If you fertilize the right things, right? Oh my goodness, the blooms are amazing. Romans 12:2, right, says to not conform to the chaos of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of our minds. Reframing isn't about fake optimism. It's not like, oh, I'm just going to be all of that kind of like positivity stuff. No. Okay? No. It's about anchoring your mind in what's possible, achievable, and worthy. So for every I can't, flip the script and say, how can I? What does this make possible? Take it from my dear friend Dan Miller. What does this make possible? Choosing one empowered thought rewires your brain for 100 opportunities. What opportunities are you in search for? You won't know until you change your thoughts. And then finally, number 3, practice focus, stillness, and gratitude. This is so important. It truly is. Amid the holiday noise, stillness feels impossible, right? Sometimes when that anxiousness comes and those butterflies and we have too much energy, that just means maybe there's just too much coming at you. You're just over the top. You can't do it. Psalm 46:10, be still and know that I am God. God is in control. You can't control the world, but you can control yourself. Sometimes we have to have that intentional quiet. And that helps you gain power over your own mental noise. It allows you to settle in. Maybe you need to journal or even make a prayer list of, you know what, this is what I'm grateful for. Gratitude resets your mental filter from scarcity to abundance. When you say, you know what, I don't have everything I want, but I do have this. You don't even have to say, I don't have everything I want, but just say, I have this, thank you. I'm excited and blessed to fill in the blank. Gratitude is the mental reset button that recharges your heart's hope. You know, the holidays won't be perfect themselves, right? I was watching football. I was watching it. And unfortunately, the Chiefs are out of the playoffs. There's no chance. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I cheer for a lot of teams. And ultimately, I really just want a good game. And I want people to play fair and be safe. Because it can be kind of crazy out there on the field. And it can be kind of rough and ragged. We don't see a lot of behind the scenes that goes on. And the stories that are being told. And you can only imagine, right, for the players up and coming and the ones that are there going, gosh, if I'm on a losing team right now, am I coming back? Are they going to cut me? Because you know what? In every contract, there's a way for somebody to get out of something. There's a cost to it, but there's always a way out. And so it was interesting as I was watching the Broncos play, there was this gentleman on the field. His name was Michael Bandy. He's been on the practice squad for 4 years. I don't know if he's been with the Broncos for 4 years. Please understand, I may not have the entire story correct. But I know he's been on the practice squad for 4 years. He's played a total time on the field, 15 games. That's it, 15. Yesterday's game, he got his first touchdown from Bo Nix of the Broncos. Would you have that determination and resilience and fortitude to keep going? not even playing a whole season, being on the practice squad for 4 years to finally get your first touchdown as a wide receiver. That's dedication. That's someone who's done a lot of work with tremendous thoughts. Because there were times, many times, probably thousands of times, that he said, why am I still here? But somehow, some way, that light was bright enough in his heart. There was hope buried way deep, but he knew, nope, I'm supposed to keep going. Trim your thoughts. Because when you do that, the relentless mental pruning, right? It's the greatest gift you can give yourself. Michael Bandy would have never gotten to where he was. He wouldn't have played his 15th game that gave him his first touchdown. But when you're willing to trim those thoughts, it clears the path for purpose, peace, and empowers you that no schedule or decoration can match. My friend, you're not here to endure the season. You're here to own it. You're a part of the reason for this season. Right? Jesus came for you. So this year, skip the needle stabbing tree. I love a fresh tree, but really, don't trim the tree. Okay, trim one tree, but the real trim that needs to happen is inside your head. Your mind needs the light most of all. Why? So you can let your light shine. Go in peace, be present, be incredible, be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a glorious, blessed day. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.